Okay.
You rolling?
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to make this video for a long time and just really haven't got around to it. You know, I've been kind of avoiding it for a long time. But what I need to do is just kind of get some closure and also re-identify my purpose and what I do. So a lot of people don't know the backstory of what happened to my family, you know, about 6 months ago. But my dad, he passed away suddenly. I remember the day I got a call, I was in the office, and my uncle said, you know, you need to get up here really quick. They rushed your dad to the hospital, and he, you know, they think he's brain dead, and they don't know if he had a heart attack or stroke. My dad was 58 years old. You know, me and my dad had issues over the years, you know, a lot of things I didn't agree about, but I always idolized my dad. So backstory on my dad was he was a referee. He was a great baseball player, and he was always really active. I remember when I was a kid, I would go watch him referee, and he just owned the gym, owned the court, and I was so proud of him. And just, you know, to know that my dad was this great referee, the best in the state, so proud of him. But one thing my dad always did a really bad job of was taking care of his body. You know, he was always that guy that was in the gym nonstop. He was running. He'd always had little aches and pains here, but never really addressed it. You know, he thought he was invincible, and a lot of people think they're invincible and they think they can do a lot of things. But eventually, you know, things caught up to him. You know, as my dad got a little older and got in his 50s, it started slow. You know, he was having some knee pain, so he consulted with an orthopedic doctor, and they did some surgery, and it didn't really help. So then they moved up to his hip, and they did a hip replacement, and that didn't really help. And then all of a sudden his back was having problems, so they did back surgery, and none of that really helped, you know. And over the years, I just saw this man who used to be physically fit and proud just deteriorate into something that was just, I feel bad saying it, but I was embarrassed to be around him. You know, he had to get around in a walker and a cane, and he just lost his dignity and who he was as a person, and I think that killed him inside. My dad was never, he was always healthy. My dad never drank, you know, he never did drugs. He was always the epitome of health and just really looked good. And to see that downfall of where he went and how he became was just depressing. So he did what everyone did, you know. They went to the medical world, and the medical world did their normal thing. They did surgery, and it didn't work. And then what happened was he was in pain. He couldn't function. So what did he do? He started taking prescription medication that were prescribed by his doctors, and that totally was his downfall. After that, I didn't even recognize my father in the last 2 years of his life. He wasn't coherent, he didn't know what was going on, and he just lost his way as a person. And basically, you know, people don't know how he died, but he went out to the back porch because he didn't sleep well at night, and he had a reaction, they think, to his medication, and he passed out, and he laid there on the porch face down in the cold, you know, and got hypothermia. But he didn't die right away, and unfortunately he didn't have anything written down in his paperwork, and you know, they kept reviving him. You know, he coded 8 times that day, and they kept bringing him back, and I had to fly up there, and I'll never forget the image of my father laying there dead, you know, hooked up to the machines and going from that. So it really helped redefine my purpose. You know, I look at these people and I see patients and clients that are just beating the shit out of their bodies and just killing themselves. And I'm like, what for? You know, what are you doing? I understand you want to be healthy and you want to work out, but there's a real consequence to ignoring pain and pushing your body to the limit that you're unable to come back from. And that's what happened for my father, you know, and it really reaffirmed my mission, you know, like surgery and pills are not the answer. You know, there is a life and death focus on that, and there's real consequences to using those methods. So if this video can get through to anybody out there that's just being reckless, or, you know, thinking that they can get a bunch of injections and pain medication and that's all going to be fine, I hope you really think about this, because my dad was 58 years old and he died alone on the back porch because the medical system failed him. And that's just my story, and you know, I've always wanted to put this on camera and just get it out there, but you know, I think about it every day, and I'll never get the image of what I saw him dying on that table look like, or as I held his hand as he died, and I don't wish that upon anybody. So if I can get through to younger people or people that are just don't understand that there are consequences to just wrecking your body all the time, then this video was a success. But that's my story, and that's why I do what I do, and you know, I hope, you know, people appreciate what I've learned and you don't have to go through what I went through. So thanks.